here's the problem with the industry we're in right now. It's very counterintuitive. So what happens is we put a video out there, but it gets like 10 views and 1 like. You're like, oh, and then you like want to delete it or archive it. But that one person could be your hotel deal. And so there's this constant battle with, oh, shall I make this post? It's not getting reach. Oh my God, it's going to look really bad. So I have a solution for that. You see, when we talk about lead generation, there's a few parts that need to happen. You have to think about what is the thing that we have to start generating. A lot of the times when people do business, they're not looking at the numbers. So you and I had this conversation, John, why do you wear all these apparatus on your, I mean, I'm not wearing my Whoop and all this stuff. Because it's all numbers. Numbers, when you know what it is, can be scaled. Like, how do I put on weight? I stand on the scales, and if I'm like over, I'm like, okay, I need to lose some weight. So lead generation starts with who, right? My market are people who are people in corporate who want to start a company. Now that we know who, and that's very specific, the next thing you have to answer is this. What questions are they asking? When I started in the real estate space, my audience were people who had leads, but they didn't know how to speak to the seller. They were calling people up and they weren't getting enough sales. So when we look at who, and when we look at the questions, what questions are they constantly asking? Right? You got to think about that for a moment. Because the questions are the thing that's going to pull the audience to you. When you relate to them, they relate to you. That creates rapport. Whereas if you put a random message out there, it's hit and miss. But if we're very specific, it's kind of like our goals, isn't it? Like, if we don't know what our goals are we ever going to achieve them? No. But if you know exactly what you want, you know how to get it. It's body, spirit, and your mind. Alignment. So we're going to align our message. It's what we call our message to market match. When we put our message out there, it's got to be clear. And by the way, the message changes over time, depending on what's happening in the market, depending on what technology is changing, depending on how people, depending on the different competition that we have. So we know who we're speaking to. We know the questions that they're going to be thinking about. And then all you have to do is answer them. And here's the thing. Here's what you'll find. The questions that people are asking are the same questions all the time. So the secret is to answer them in as many different ways as you can. I mean, seriously, look at the weight loss industry. How do you lose weight? Exercise more and eat less. Have you seen how many diets there are out there that talk about the same thing? It's the same thing, but it's the fundamentals are the same. Eat less while intermittent fasting. Don't eat for 8 hours, right? Or just eat meat. Or no, just eat vegetables. You know what? Don't eat any of that, just eat fish. They're answering it in different ways. How they answer it is dependent on who they attract. So if we understand who we're talking to, then we can attract the solution to a problem. That solves a big part of it. Like, for example, you know, John, you mentioned a second ago, people don't even know we have a program. So part of what you put out there needs to explain and seed that you do. Yes, you're invisible right now, but when you start answering these questions, and who you're speaking to, people who are just kind of starting getting into this, the questions that people are asking, well, I don't even know where to start. The answer is, well, you start by doing, and then Maggie will give them a strategy. Whether you're posting things on social media, whether you're doing a podcast interview, this messaging and positioning is really important. And that's the problem. A lot of people put stuff out there. You see, when we talk about the who and the questions and the answers, really what we're talking about are these things. What, why, how? Let me ask you a question. Where do most people spend all of their content? Yeah, they spend it down here. You teach the what and the why, not the how, actually. You always have to stay clear on this. So it's always the what and the why. And then when you come down to this, it's the who. Normally the who's, you'll have 3 to 5 who's. So mine is, like my first one is, okay, if you're in a corporate job, a high-paying 6-figure job, but you hate your life because you're so much stress and you want to do something on the side, you need to listen to me. Because I've been there myself. Second one is, okay, now you start a business, but you're really struggling. Like, you're so passionate about it, you're putting everything in it, but nothing's coming back. Okay, you need to listen to me. Great, now you've hit your first 100 grand, brilliant, right? Now you can quit your job, now you can do things that you got a bit of financial freedom now, great. And then the next one is, okay, now you can choose lifestyle or empire. Right? Okay, you got a great lifestyle business, you're making 2, 3, 5 million, it's great lifestyle, but do you want to create a unicorn? That's my 5th one. So I get very few at the top, a lot at the bottom in the first 4. So you need a wide enough filtering at the top to get what you want down here. So for example, in John's case, you have 24 people here and 100 people up here, roughly. So 24, but then you had to speak from these 100 people. How many did you speak to get this? Let's say there's 100 people interested, you speak to, let's say 70 of them, then it comes into this. You see, once you understand your conversion rate, you understand who, what, and how. And most people don't even know who. They're just randomly making taking a picture of a steak and posting it on social media. What's that got to do with your who? So everything you post has to be tailored to the who. Message market match. And a lot of people, what they do, they have something called a message market mismatch. So for example, if people keep coming to you and in that podcast, they keep steering down that route, there needs to be something that's triggering it. Either you're marketing it or you're putting it out there, you're putting the message out, that's why people are asking you about it. But if you focus the attention on something else, they ask you about other stuff.